Hey, sissy stuff. It is Georgia and Emma, and we are here to go over Georgia Bulldogs season this year. We're super excited. So far, we've gone over a bunch of different teams. Emma and Molly have been doing a great job, but now Molly is gone, and it's time for some meanness. Y'all have been so nice, nice about every single team. Let's get gritty in here.
I love it. I love it. So how do you feel about the Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia?
This is not my team, believe it or not. Uh, as ironic as that is, but I mean, they have had a very interesting offseason. I'd like to start with that. Carson Beck, QB, entered NFL draft, opted out, and then transferred to Miami to be with his girlfriend that they are now broken up with. But now Georgia is without Carson Beck. They also had a lot of moving around, other outgoing transfers like Damon Wilson, Jaden Rashada, Julian Humphrey. The list goes on and on. But we did have some incoming transfers as well, like Noah Thomas from Texas A&M. He's a wide receiver. Zachariah and Zion Branch from USC. They are wide receiver and running back safety. And then Josh McCray from Illinois. He is a running back. He was the Citrus Bowl MVP. If anyone cares about bowl games anymore, I do. So, I mean, there's been a lot of moving around for Georgia this offseason.
There has been, and I mean, the most prominent place is obviously the quarterback. Gunner Stockton has now taken the head QB job. He's had steady growth. He earned the starting job. He's replaced the proven leader in Carson Beck. But he did play those last few games for Georgia and showed that he could lead the team. He does have arm talent. He understands the offense, but we haven't seen him thrive in a hostile SEC environment yet. So his development will determine Georgia's ceiling here this year. I expect growing pains early, but we'll see how they do. And then the offensive line is another place we're looking at because are they good enough to protect Stockton, especially while he's growing, playing a full season in the SEC against these really hard teams, dominant teams? So that is the biggest concern. It puts major pressure on these new players to protect the quarterback. So, I mean, there's a lot of changes for Georgia this year. So it's going to be very interesting for them this season.
Yeah, one thing that I found crazy is that their roster is now 54% underclassmen, so freshmen, sophomores. They are obviously led by Coach Kirby Smart. He's entering his 10th season. If anyone can do it, it's Kirby Smart. I think he is the best coach in the SEC right now. Um, but he has a challenge put out for him. I know he also this offseason was talking about there's just some culture issues with people maybe not meshing or maybe not wanting to show up. I think that's kind of throughout college football right now, unfortunately, is there's a lot of culture issues going on with only playing for yourself. And so I think Kirby's really worked on this offseason of, hey, we're playing as a team. And I'm excited to see what he's done. I think that he's been killing the recruiting class. I mean, he's stolen so many recruits from Auburn that I think is just hilarious. Like they're like, yeah, I'm going to Auburn. And Kirby's like, come here. I got his guys. Yeah. So, I mean, like Elijah Griffin, he was the number one player in 2025. He signed in December 24. They had other high level additions, including 5-star edge rusher Isaiah Gibson. So, I mean, they've definitely been bringing in some good talent. There's been talent going and coming, but they are super young.
Yeah.
And I think that's, the only thing like they have some optimism, but they need to go into it with some caution.
Yeah. But one place I'm never going to worry about with Georgia is their defense, and that is because of Kirby Smart. So, I mean, their interior D line is stacked. The linebackers are deep. Their secondary is fast, physical. Dalen Everett, KJ Bolden, they're future NFL guys. But edge pressure, tackling in space will be determined if this is a top five unit or just a very good unit. But they are going to be solid, and that is what Kirby Smart does best. So I think the defense will be able to allow the offense to find their rhythm, especially early on. But the bad thing for Georgia is they're playing some hard games in September. So they have to play Tennessee, they have to play Alabama right from the get go. So it is going to be interesting to see how fast this team can adapt to their new normal, and what they are this year, and if they can define who they are this year quickly enough to be extremely competitive and win in those games.
Yeah. So they opened with Marshall. I think that is an obvious win. Then they hit Austin P, obvious win again. But then we have that game against Tennessee. Y'all just did the Tennessee episode. There's obviously a lot of question marks with Tennessee right now. Um, I do see Georgia winning this game. I don't know about you,
I do
but
see Georgia winning. I
yeah.
do. I just think Tennessee, if they had Nico and they had like what they assumed they were going to have going into 2025, I think this would be a lot closer and could have been a toss up. But because they don't have Nico and they kind of have to start from scratch now, I do think Georgia will win this. I don't think Tennessee will find their groove yet.
Yeah, I mean, it is being played at Tennessee, so Tennessee does have that, home field
And
advantage.
it's loud there.
It is loud at Rocky Top, yes, so, Tennessee fans know how to bring it, but I mean, fans can only do so much, and I just don't see I'm gonna say this a lot, I don't see Kirby Smart losing a lot of these games, like, when it comes down to it, I I just think that Kirby can win them no matter what team he has.
Yeah.
Then Alabama comes to Georgia. Alabama really surprised Georgia last year with that game. They were on fire first quarter, but Georgia really did come back. Like, yes, they still lost that game, but there was an instance where I was like, Georgia might come back and win this game.
It was very impressive. It was a very good game.
Yeah, I think that was the game of the season last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
like, just in my opinion, I think that was the most entertaining game of the regular season.
That or
Um,
Georgia Tech, but Georgia's all over the entertainment sec.
yeah, I mean, Georgia, yeah, definitely is and it's so funny because I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking about how, like, when I was younger, Georgia really wasn't anything, at least when I was growing up, like, I know they were good before, like, my age of football, like, when I was, like, really started paying attention at, like, 8 years old. So, I had never thought of it like, my team never really played Georgia, like, just with the way that, schedule was, we didn't see them in the SEC championship, like
Yeah, we had the divisions.
I was like, I don't even think about Georgia," and then Kirby Smart left Alabama, went to Georgia, and he has turned this in to the top SEC team.
Yeah.
Um so it's amazing what he's done, but with this Georgia-Alabama game, I do see Georgia winning this game. It's home field advantage. They unless I think everything is just so up in the air right now of figuring out who's gonna be good this year just because of so many things moving around. So I'm like, "Yeah, they can win it," and then I'm like, "But what if Alabama comes out swinging?" You know? So, I feel like because they're at home, they will win.
I when we did the Alabama episode, I said that Alabama would lose this game. Looking further into it, it really could go either way, and it's just down to which team clicks immediately because this is so early in the season. This is going to be Ty Simpson's first SEC road start if he is the starting quarterback. I'm assuming he is. And this is Georgia at home, and Kirby does not lose at home. So I think it could go either way, but Alabama would have to do something really special to win. But I am favoring Georgia in this matchup, but I wouldn't count Alabama out at
Oh,
all.
no. I don't count them out either. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I actually think they're gonna lose.
Me too.
Like, the more I'm sitting here and thinking about it, I'm like, "Okay, Alabama's not a baby team. They have really big, you know, key players coming back." And so I'm like, actually, it's a W or an L. I can't answer this one
Such
yet. I
a
can't.
toss-up here, and it really is gonna be who clicks, but I think for Alabama, the X factor here is now Kalen DeBoer is back with Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb has said that he has taken what he saw in the NFL with defensive schemes, and offensive schemes, and he's bringing that down into college, so he has a better I don't know, he's learned more. So it is going to be very interesting to see that duo back together and what they can produce, especially in these hostile road environments with how big the Alabama Georgia rivalry has gotten at this point. So it is going to be such a fun game. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Trying to
So
get
I think it's
tickets.
a toss up. Yeah.
Yeah, I look every day. I'm like, "Ooh," and it's like $600 for the top. I'm like, "No, no, not
Maybe
happening.
not.
No." Next, we have versus Kentucky. I think that's gonna be an easy one for Georgia.
It
Uh,
could be a trap game. I think if they beat Tennessee and Alabama, they'll feel, like, very high on their horses, and they could lose to Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky beat a couple teams last year that they maybe shouldn't have, but I do think Georgia's gonna win.
yeah, and then we have Auburn. They're definitely gonna win that. Uh, I do think Auburn, will put up a fight. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
it's not gonna be an easy game, and honestly, I feel like after the first 3 games, I'll be able to answer these better,
Oh, for sure.
but right now, I'm going off of just straight vibes. Yeah, no, vibes and research. I just think it's gonna be a win. Then we
Or
have
with the portal, you're just like, "Oh, this player is really good and this player is really" but maybe they don't play well together, and so you won't know until we see a couple games, and then we can really be like, "Oh, wait, no, this should favor here." But right now, it's kind of like logo, coach, and then individual player stats and then vibes.
yeah.
And vibes change daily.
Yeah, my vibes literally just changed during this episode. So, then we have versus Ole Miss. I actually have them losing this game.
Mhm.
I don't know about you. I do have them losing again to
I don't know. I think the Dogs will be angry they lost last year. I'm gonna actually pick Georgia to win this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just think with the Georgia team being so young, um, I don't see them beating the Rebels again.
I mean, Lane Kiffin has done what Lane Kiffin does best, and he's gone to the portal and he's collected so many people that are fantastic, but it's just, again, whether or not they can click. So, you
Yeah,
say vibes Ole Miss, I say vibes Georgia.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I just feel like Georgia will lose this. Then we have versus Florida. This one was really hard for me to choose. Georgia and Florida have a very interesting rivalry. Um, it's fun, and I think it's being played in Jacksonville, so they always have like neutral setting. They don't ever play in Athens or in Gainesville. Um, I would love to go to this game. I think this is a bucket list game, in my
Oh, yeah,
opinion.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Georgia versus Florida is a bucket list game. I have them winning.
And I have them losing. I think this is
Ooh!
DJ Lagway's breakout game. This is Florida's breakthrough 2025 win.
Okay.
First win over Georgia since, like, 2020 or something like that, but, yeah, I have high hopes for Florida this season. I think they're gonna be something special and watch them lose every single SEC matchup they play, but that's how I'm feeling about them right now, and I'm really locked in on what DJ Lagway showed us last year and what I think he can be this year.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I would love to see it. We've talked we're both big DJ Lagway fans. So we are excited to see what Florida does. But yeah, I do have Georgia winning this game. Then we have Mississippi State. Oh, our little state Bulldogs. They're not gonna win this.
No.
Um,
But
we'll
they'll try. They'll try really hard.
we'll give their best, and
Yeah.
that's all we can ask for is their best,
Yes.
and it won't be enough,
Mm-mm.
but
I mean, the
it'll
good news for Mississippi State here is they have Georgia between Florida and Texas. So they could be overlooked and
yeah.
not planned out enough for them. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about Mississippi State yet. I'm excited to talk about Jeff Levy and what he's doing, but we won't talk about that right now. Then we have the big game that everyone is excited for: Georgia versus Texas. They're winning. Texas is losing again. I'm
Texas is
sorry.
gonna lose.
I I have this petty, just like want for. I just want Texas to never beat Georgia. I think it'd be so funny if they literally could win every single other game and then just, like, for the history of them being in the SEC, just never be able to beat Georgia. I think it'd be hilarious.
Well, it was
Um,
crazy last year they came in first of all, their schedule was mild
Cupcake
comparatively.
schedule, yeah.
And Georgia was always everyone picked Texas to win, everyone picked Texas to win, they beat them both times, and I'm like, "Guys, you're coming into currently the Dogs conference, and you think you're just gonna come in and beat them?" I'm like, "No, not yet, at least," and so I Georgia's gonna win this game,
Yeah.
hands down. "Alright, alright, alright, you're not winning." So
Yeah, I just there's something in me that just never wants Texas to win this game. Like, I want Texas to win. I'm fine with them winning other games, but I just want there to be this just hilarious statistic that they can never beat Georgia. Um, that I think it'd be amazing.
well, that would be like their Alabama,
Yeah,
because Georgia has a hard time beating Alabama, so
exactly. Yeah, like Georgia
hard
has
time beating Georgia.
yeah, so, like, Georgia has a really hard time beating Alabama. I think Texas will always have a hard time beating Georgia,
Yeah.
and we can just keep making a diagram. Then we have versus Charlotte, that's gonna be a W, and
Mhm.
then they're r say ha being Southern and saying the word rivalry,
I was like, "What happened?"
I had just had a quick little brain aneurysm, I had to slow the word down a little bit. Then they have their rivalry week game.
Nailed it.
Thank you. Phonics is really my go-to. I'm really good at that. So versus Georgia Tech, they're gonna win this game, but golly, that game last year, so good.
It was so good. It was on Friday because nobody thought it would be anything. 8 overtimes. I mean, Georgia Tech technically should have won that game.
They got outcoached.
They got outcoached, and that's all it was.
Yes.
But the team was better that day. So, that was
Yeah,
great game.
that was a crazy game. I wear acrylics, but I wanted to bite on them so bad. I was like, so, yeah, that was a crazy game. They're gonna win this year, again. I don't see Georgia Tech beating them. It'd be really interesting. We both live in Atlanta, so I live right next to Georgia Tech. It it's a fun place to be, I will say that. Like, it's not the SEC, but I feel like it should be. I don't think, like, football-wise, it would be like a Mississippi State, but I think it'd be so fun for Georgia Tech being the SEC.
I agree. I'd love them
Mhm.
to come in.
That'd be so fun, especially for adding places like Texas and Oklahoma.
I know.
You're telling me Missouri is Southern?
I don't
Whatever.
know if Georgia Tech wants to be in the SEC.
I don't know
It's
either.
like when Clemson and Florida State, they're trying to leave the ACC. I'm like, "No, stay." Especially with how the playoffs are right now. I'm like, "You're gonna get into the playoffs every single year, basically." I'm like, "Stay
Yeah.
in a nice little conference. It's hard over here.
You don't wanna be over
You don't wanna come
It's horrible. We're stressed out every day.
every week. It sucks."
We're happy one week, crying the next week. We don't know what's going on.
Emotional
Um
roller coaster to the highest degree.
It is an emotional roller coaster, totally. I mean, I think this is going to be a fun season for Georgia.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be 10-2 or 11-1. Their hardest games are Alabama, Florida, Texas. I'm saying if they're 10-2, the losses are Alabama, Florida. If they're 11-1, I think the loss is Alabama.
Okay, I have them 10-2 or 11-1, but they're losing to Ole Miss, and they're either winning or losing against Bama. But I could see Florida and then beating, there's just so much that could happen. I mean, the Texas showdown's on November 15th. That's going to really loom over them, with Georgia's young players against Texas's players, and the lore of Arch Manning and seeing what he's going to do, and he's just turned into this Texas celebrity at this point. So seeing, how he comes out, and I think he's a great football player. So seeing what he can do. But yeah, I mean, there was strong recruiting this offseason. It's going to be offset by some of the inexperience. But the thing about having young players like freshmen and sophomores coming in is that they're they're good players. It's not like they just went and picked up some football scrimmage guys, you know? They're 4 stars, they're 5 stars, they know what they're doing, but can they handle the pressure of the SEC? Can they handle the pressure of playing on Saturday nights and, having to play against the best of the best every time? Because it's really easy to be the best when you're not playing the best all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, this is so manageable for Georgia to easily get into the playoffs again. I mean, they're avoiding LSU. They don't leave Athens often. They have just 3 true road games. And I mean, they have Florida, Alabama, and Texas, and that is a brutal stretch, but they get Bama and Texas at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're gonna make the playoffs hands down unless something crazy happens. But
And
this is
you never know anymore.
yeah.
Molly said that she thinks that this is gonna be the most entertaining season of football in a really long time. I think I agree. I think it's gonna be really fun.
So, UGA, we have high hopes for your season. We think you're absolutely going to make it all the way to the playoffs, even the SEC championship, if we're being honest. We're putting you at 11-1 or 10-2. What do you guys think? And who do you guys think those losses would be to? Do you think it would be Ole Miss or Alabama? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye bye.